Hey, true blue, don't say you've gone. Say you've knocked off for a smoker, and you'll be back later on. Hey, true blue, hey, true blue, give it to me straight, face to face. Are you really disappearing? Just another dying race. Hey, true blue, true blue, is it me and you? Is it mom and dad? Is it a cockatoo? Is it standing by your mate when he's in a fight? Or will she be right? True blue, I'm asking you. Hey, true blue, can you bear the load? Will you tie it up with wire just to keep the show on the road? Hey, true blue, hey, true blue, and be fitting. Is your heart still there? If they sell us out like sponge cake, do you really care? Hey, true blue, true blue, is it me and you? Is it mom and dad? Is it a cockatoo? Is it standing by your mate when she's in a fight? Or will she be right? True blue, I'm asking you. Is it me and you? Is it mom and dad? Is it a cockatoo? Is it standing by your mate when he's in a fight? Or will she be right? True blue, true blue.
Good morning, everyone. Aussie True Blue, and then you get this. Something wrong, isn't there? Now, this is Aussie True Blue, by the way, anyway. Welcome to all of you, family, friends of John Richard Hannaford. Welcome to those of you here, and welcome to those who are watching through live streaming. The live streaming is a new way, something that's come out of the COVID years, where people are able to watch if they're unable to be here. And of course, there's family and friends that are always unable to be present at a funeral, and now they can kind of be present with us, to see us and hear us and share in the grief and in the celebration of life. So welcome, one and all. Here we come to remember John Richard Hannaford. Hanno, as many of you knew him. Sometimes we come to a funeral service and you're giving out someone's name, John, and they're like, who's John? Who's John? Hanno, or as some of you also knew him just as H. Here we are to share with family, to assure them that they're not alone, and by goodness, they're not alone. The number of people here today, you're definitely not alone. We share, all of us share in at least something of what you're going through today so that you don't feel alone. And that's the kind of comfort that gets you through today and gets you through. Here we are for you, Carol, in your sense of loss. Here we are for you, Dino, with Jules, Garth, with Debbie. And then for that special bond of grandchildren, in your sense of loss, here we are for you too. For Emma, Troy, Corey, Bailey and Jet. At times like this, you pull out the photo albums and pour over all those old memories. We're looking for photos for the booklet, for example, and we look into the photo albums and for the slideshow. They take us back to, the black and white days, no doubt. Going back in memory to when he was just a boy with Irene, his sister, deceased, with Jeff and with Joy. Going back to his childhood. And as you pour over the pictures, you get the younger members of the family saying, and who's that? And who's that there? Oh yeah, doesn't he look like your grandpa? And you pour over all these pictures and you stir up memories. And of course, as you do so, you've got tears in your eyes as you recall those happy, happy days. But it's something that we all do at a time like this. We stir up the memories. We do this again this morning. We stir up the memories, and yes, it will bring a tear to your eye, but also it brings a warmth to your hearts as we share together and remember together. It's inevitable we feel the way we do. On the booklet, we call it a celebration of life, but we come in grief, and we can't help that because we're missing someone. And we're able to do both as humans. We celebrate someone's life, we grieve their passing, we laugh and we cry, both at the same time. We're just a peculiar animal, we're able to do this both at the same time. Something Hannah always enjoyed, as you're well aware, was a beer. He loved to have a beer. I love to have a beer with, talking about True Blue, here's a right good Aussie piece. I love to have a beer with Duncan. I love to have a beer with Dunk. We drink in moderation and we never ever get rolling drunk. We drink at the town and country where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Duncan because Duncan's me mate. I love to have a beer with Kevin. I love to have a beer with Kev. We drink in moderation. He drives me home in his big old Chev. We drink at the town and country where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Kevin because Kevin's me mate. I love to have a beer with you lot. With Marto, Ed, Job, Roscoe and Dom. I love to have a beer with you lot. We don't really drink in moderation and we do kind of get rolling drunk. We drink at the town and country where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with you lot because you lot are my best mates. I love to have a beer with Carol. I love to have a beer with Wifey. We drink in moderation, she keeps me all righty. We drink at the town and country where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Carol. She can be a right Christmas pain at times, but she's my best mate for over 50 years. We might say cheers, Hanno. Cheers, Hanno. Cheers. We celebrate his life. We remember his ways, his happy times that we shared together. It's always a privilege to hear from family when they share with us at a time like this. And this is going to be a privilege now as we hear from, I think, is it Garth? Yeah. Garth's coming to share a few words.
Firstly, on behalf of Mum, Dean, Jules, myself, Deb, our boys, Corey, Bailey, and Corey's new partner, Sarah, I'd like to thank you all for coming to show respect for Dad. Growing up, the main things I remember about the old man was his mates and his love for beer. Wednesday night was beer at Ed's. Friday, beer at Mardo's. Saturday, beer on the front lawn with neighbours. Sunday, beer at JOB's listening to Parramatta play. And then after moving to Budgie Boy, he loved a beer at the Halley with his mates around the table of knowledge. Second to beer, his love was cars. He washed them every Saturday. I remember Dean and him building an 82 Hilux that they in the shed that they'd bought from Bronco at Corinda. It was Dean's first car, and that gave me the bug. When I turned 14, I bought a V-Dub Beetle. Dad told me, if you're going to buy a V-Dub, you need to buy an oval window, so that's what I did. We took the V-Dub to Gordon and Tyler Smash. That was once owned by Dad's mate Shady, and that's how we met Rob and Sandra Basari. They loved Dad and Dad loved them. Rob was into Mazda rotaries, but Dad said we'll just let that slide. After painting the V-dub, Rob painted a couple of yellow Hiluxes, a 64.5 Mustang, an XA GT, an XW Ute, a 65 Fastback that I now own, and a 69 GT HO that Rob now owns, all of which I built for the old man. It was in that GT HO that Dad taught me 4 life lessons. How to outrun the police, how to do a burnout, that if he'd kick my ass my nose could bleed, and don't tell your mother. We were in the GT at the lights at Wenny on the Cumberland Highway, where I said to Dad, why would Ford make this taco go to 8,000 when this old thing wouldn't rev past 5? So as the lights turned green, Dad revved it to about 6, sidestepped the clutch, and we were off in a cloud of smoke. Into second, and he showed me that she sure had revved to 8. Just at that point, a highway patrol car came past the other way. He soon put his lights on, and Dad grabbed third. We were off. Later, back to second, back to first, and through the back entrance of Wenny Bowling Club we went. We took every back street from Wenny to Greystanes as fast as we could. As we came up the street, the old man yelled, get that roller door up and get the gates open, so which I did. Once we were in the garage and the door was down, I learnt lesson 2, don't tell your mother. Lesson 3 was burnouts. We were leaving one of Dad's mates, Mick's, on a Sunday afternoon after some beers. I was 16 on my L plates and driving. I reversed out the driveway when Dad says, do you know how to do a burnout? As all his mates are standing out the front. I laughed and said, duh. He said, let's show him. So I revved it up, dumped the clutch and put my foot on the brake. We were sitting there in a cloud of smoke as I released the brake, up the road, grabbed second. Later, backing off, Dad said to me, if I ever catch you doing the wrong thing in the wrong time, I'll kick your ass until your nose bleeds. That was lesson 4. Lesson 5 was Dad always taught me, if you're in a fight and there's more than 2 blokes, hit the biggest bloke first because hopefully the smaller bloke will run. Dad loved the bush. His happy place was Corinda, where he loved everyone. It's a small town, but everyone has big hearts. His best mate there was Dave Warnock, and also his nephew Dominic, and his family Judy, Rick and Steph. They own Gilwarney. It's a farm next to Douglas Park, where we all went, and especially Dean and I as kids. Dean and I learned to drive, shoot, chase pigs, and all things about the bush. I remember one family trip that we took Dad's Holden Ute. It was a 3-seater, but there was the 4 of us. Dad, being the problem solver he was, he just put me in the back. He said, keep your head down if a car comes up behind. Lucky it was only a 7-hour drive each way. Dad loved staying at Dom's old house and helping around the farm. Him and Dom were best mates. Dad loved his XW and XY Falcon car club, of which him and Mum were made life members. In that car club he met some fantastic people. Some of them were introduced to Pam and Jimmy. He introduced them to 4-wheel driving and later holidayed with them. He also met Dennis and Judy, or as Dad called them, Scrubber and Doodah. They also travelled around Australia. That car club was a great memory and shared a big part of Dad's life and passion for cars. One memory I have I didn't write here was, there's a chap here, and Dad let him drive his GT, which was back in the day a pretty cool car, GT HO, and he let him drive it, and he said to me, I can't believe it, but my life dream was to drive a GT HO, so Grand Drives, I remember that. Dad's brother Jeff couldn't be with us today. He's crook, COVID, but he was a big part of Dad's life, and Dad loved him dearly. They travelled the Great Ocean Road together in their MGs with Auntie Marg and Mum. They just had lots of fun. Dad once fitted a fuel cut-off switch to Uncle Jeff's Monaro at home. Upon leaving, Uncle Jeff only got around the corner before the car stopped. Jeff laughed and thought, that bastard. Dad put the fuel cut-off switch just for a laugh. That was his sense of humour. Dad's biggest love was Mum. What can I say? Married 54 years, in which she waited on him hand and foot. They had a life together like no other. They said behind every great man is a great woman, and that's our Mum. The love, values they taught Dean and I will be passed down to our kids and to their kids. Corey.
Geez, where do I start? Pop was a absolute character, as you all probably know. He found a way to make me smile with his quick wits, funny one-liners and practical jokes. Our weekend trips up the coast were always filled with joy. Bailey and myself always loved spending time with him, talking about cars, bikes, girls, and everything in between. Pop also taught me some important life lessons at a young age, like how to hold a rifle, the best way to pour a beer, and his home brew was the best there was. And on that note, some of my earliest memories with Pop were alcohol related. I think that's where I developed a love for the taste of a nice cold VB at the tender age of 6 or 7. And now that I'm 20, I feel like my drinking days have plateaued, and that's probably not a bad thing. In the near 21 years that I've been on this planet, we created some memories that will stick with me for the rest of my life. Catching flatties at Budgie Boy, trips to Corinda, and all those days spent at the skate park at the top, as well as how hospitable he was, generous and warm he was towards everybody that he knew. He was a great man and an even better grandfather.
I didn't write this, and I've just winging it on the way here in the car. I just want to thank everybody for everything that Dad was cook for 4 years, and everybody from around Budgie Boy, all my friends, cousins, relatives, everybody that come and showed their respects in his later days. I got a message that I went through Dad's phone, and
Can't be good.
it's got "Good day, John." It was written by a kid called Rick Warnock, who's a great kid. I just want to let you know I'm thinking of you on your birthday.
Do you want to read it?
I also want to say how great it's been to have you in my life. There are a lot of awesome memories that I will hold for the rest of my life. I know Steph calls you Uncle John, and I also think the same of you. It brought me to tears because I know how many lives Dad touched and how much people loved him. And I don't think there's a person in this room that could say a bad thing about the old man, because he was a bloody legend. Like I said, in life, my dream was to be half the father that he was, and my 2 kids are testament to that. So in saying that, thank you all for everything you've done for the old man, and I really appreciate it from us. And we'll probably leave you all with a Hannaford salute. And if you knew the old man, either when he met you or when he left, he just gave you the bird.
I said it's a privilege to hear from family when they share at a time like this, and that's why that was such a privilege to hear and stir up all the memories of your dad among all his friends and family. Thank you for that. I didn't know Jeff was actually missing today, his brother, with COVID, so he's one of the ones that we were speaking to earlier on, probably via live streaming. Jeff, we wish you well. Get well soon. We know you would wish to be here, but you are here with us. Imagine a car repair called Shady. Maybe it's okay. Maybe they're all just shady. I loved your stories when you were telling me about the 4-wheel drive and the travels that you had and the pleasures you had on all of these. It stuck with me, your visit to Crook Island. I know it's supposed to be called Cook Island, but he renamed it Crook Island. The prices of beer were bloody criminal. Crook Island. And I love that thing where in the family, you know this, you'll know again, True Blue, you know the Aussie song, I've been everywhere man, I've been everywhere. He was the everywhere man, was he not? He was everywhere. And I heard how some of the family were saying they had been to some remote village somewhere. And oh yeah, I know the place. Yeah, it's a single one-horse town, just a garage. And then they've got the wee shop just round the back. Like, how do you know this? Oh, I've been there. I've been everywhere man. I've been everywhere man. I've got one final piece from family to read out, and this is from cousin Paul. He's in the United States. So on behalf of Paul, this is a lovely piece. Paul is John's cousin. So he probably writes this in an Australian accent and not in a Scottish one, but here we go. Well, what does one say at this solemn time about John? Plenty, I'm sure. We all have our special times and memories of our lives shared with him. He was just a great human being. John has always had a special place in my heart. He was a couple of years older than me. We were cousins. His mother Phyllis and my mother Edith were sisters. During our younger years, John and I were also close, and we'd meet up a few times per year at family gatherings. I also spent a number of Christmas school holidays at his parents' home. I remember when I was about 6 or 7 that his parents owned a fruit shop, Milk Bar, in good old downtown Wentworthville. That shop was a real novelty for me, as I lived in suburbia. His home was always a very exciting place to visit and stay. John and I would regularly get up to some mischief, as boys of that age do. We would often raid the candy counter in the shop after closing time and secretly share the spoils of our ill-gotten gains. These raids on the shop happened on a daily basis. John also had an older sister, Irene. We would gang up on her and tease the life out of her. Why? Because we were both little shits, and that's what little boys do. Although John and I went in different directions during our late teens, I've always felt a special bond existed between us. John had an easygoing nature and was always interesting to talk to. We both shared passion for cars, although I always thought that he had a somewhat misguided view on what a real muscle car was. He was a Mustang guy, and I was a Corvette guy, so never the twain shall meet, of course. Nevertheless, I envied him for owning that magnificent Carroll Shelby Mustang that Garth has so beautifully restored. John was always comfortable around people and could speak from a position of knowledge on many subjects. You name it, and he could hold his own on that topic. Although he was at ease with groups, he valued his own time and space, which he shared constantly with Carol. He was a proud family man and part of a strong family unit. He was particularly proud of his two sons. His legacy still prospers today through the efforts of Dean and Garth and their families. He was extremely proud of his two boys and would always take every opportunity to brag about them and their achievements. He was a devoted family man who worked hard throughout his life to support and protect his close family unit. John holds a special place in the hearts of us all. He always found something interesting to talk about and was always at ease in company. He was always a joy to be around and to share life with. We shall always love and remember the fun times. Thank you, mate, for sharing your life with us. With love, from Paul. Paul, if you're watching, thank you so much for that. And I hope the Scottish accent did it justice, but thank you for that. Much appreciated. We've been stirring up memories as we do, and yeah, I can see there have been a few tears. But again, I hope more than anything else there's a lot of warm hearts as you're recalling, remembering happy memories. So we're going to stir up these memories yet further now as we see something of Hanno's life in picture. To the Zac Brown Band, My Old Man.
He was a giant when I was just a kid. I was always trying to do everything he did. I can still remember every lesson he taught me. Growing up, learning how to be like my old man. He was a lion. We were a father's pride, but I was defiant when he made me walk the line. He knew how to lift me up and when to let me fall. Looking back, he always had a plan. My old man. My old man, feel the callus on his hands and dusty overalls. My old man, now I finally understand. I have a lot to learn from my old man. Now I'm a giant Got a son of my own. He's always tried to go everywhere I go. Do the best I can to raise him up the right way, hoping that he someday wants to be like his old man. One day we'll meet again as he's looking down. My old man, I hope he's proud of who I am. I'm trying to fill the boots of my old man. My old man.
That was lovely. On behalf of all of us here, thank you for going into your photo albums and selecting those to share with us. Very privileged that you would share them with us today. Thank you so much for that. The family has included the Lord's Prayer in the service for your comfort. If you'd like to join in, you're welcome. If you'd rather have a quiet moment, then have a quiet moment. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. When I was with you, Carol, and you were telling me about the travels that you had in the caravan and the extensive travels, and I said to you, I've got a wonderful reading that just ties in beautifully for that. And this is it. It's about a caravan that heads off. And we'll all be thinking of you and your caravan trips heading off. A caravan and driver head off down the road. And I stand watching till excuse me, till it fades on the horizon. And just then someone at my side says, it's gone. He's gone. Gone where though? Gone from my sight, that's all. The caravan and him inside, still just as large now as the last time I saw them. Their diminishing and diminishing size and total loss from my sight is in me, not in them. And just at that moment when someone at my side is saying, it's gone, he's gone. Someone else is taking up a glad shout and saying, there it is, I see it, here he comes, I see him. Here he comes. It's been suggested this is what dying is, and just the present limit of our sight, our horizon. There he is. I see him. A caravan heads off down the road. We come together and, even if we had no words, even if we just came together, that would work for us as humans. It always has ever since we were human. We just gather and to see each other, to look into each other's eyes and to see into each other's soul, to share a tear, to enter into an embrace. And even during all those COVID years, we still entered into embrace. Keep your social distance. Well, we couldn't do that as humans, not at a time like this. We still walked right into an embrace and felt the loving comfort, care, compassion, and strength that it would give. But another reason we come together is to farewell. And of course it breaks our hearts and we don't want to do it. But it's one of the reasons that we come together, and we've come to that moment in the service now. For this we always stand in honour and in tribute of the person. So if you're able, including you watching through live streaming, if you're able, would you please be upstanding? Here we have truly remembered and celebrated Hanno's life. Here we have truly celebrated his life in our own, recognising that our life is all the better for ever having had him in it. And of course, some here share his gift of life. And now, though it breaks our hearts to do so, we farewell him with words of "Your race is run, go in peace." Hanno, go in peace. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Go in peace till we meet again. And of course, his concern for you, Carol, boys, family, friends, would be that you would go from this place in peace. I leave with you then these words of a Celtic blessing from my part of the world, which fits so beautifully here in Australia. Deep peace of the shining star to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of warm, assuring, comforting love to you. Comforting love to you, that you may leave here in peace. There is a floral tribute. The family will place their flower on the casket after it has been undressed, and we're going to leave to King of the Road, Roger Miller. Go in peace.
Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. Ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8-12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. 3rd boxcar, midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. Whoa, worn out suit and shoes. I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, all their children, all of their names, and every handout in every town. If we're locked, it ain't locked when no one's around. I sing trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool.
On behalf
no
of
pets.
Jeff and absent friends and family.
No cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8-12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. Ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8-12 Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. Ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8-12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. 3rd boxcar, midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. Whoa, worn out suit and shoes. I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, in every town. If we're locked, it ain't locked when no one's around. I sing trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. I've but 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8 by 12 4-bit room. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. But 2 hours of pushing broom buys eight. Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. But 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8 12 4-bit room. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. 3rd boxcar, midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. Whoa, worn out suit and shoes. I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, all their children, all of their names, and every handout in every town. If we're locked, it ain't locked when no one's around. I sing trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. But 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8 by 12 4-bit room. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. But 2 hours of pushing broom buys